Good evening. Today is Thursday, June 27, 2013. Tonight on News 13, smoky conditions persist as a wildfire between Fairbanks and Nenana continues to burn almost 500 acres. And intense heat and dry conditions across the interior led to the announcement today of a ban on the use of personal fireworks in all fire districts across the borough. We'll have those stories and more. Tom Hewitt has the latest in sports, then Alexis Lopez is in with weather. I'm Amy Chassé, and this is News 13.
Keeping an eye on the interior. News 13 starts now.
Good evening. A fire on the Parks Highway is causing smoky conditions in Fairbanks while making for minor traffic delays on the road between milepost 317 and milepost 344. The route saw a closure between the two mileposts yesterday evening, but has since opened to single lines of one-way traffic led by pilot cars. Given that the fire's growth has been extremely erratic, the Parks Highway may see increased wait times or total closure until the blaze is extinguished. The fire, which started Tuesday night, has already consumed around 500 acres. Reports state that the fire may have originated from a nearby logging camp.
We went to Nenana, stopped to get some ice cream, and on the way back, the road was closed. On the way there, the fire was far away, but the time we were coming back, they shut it down. But yesterday, we went up and looked at it. It was pretty crazy. Big billowing plume. Whole hilltop was on fire. Planes were flying over, putting it out.
As of 2 p.m. today, the Air Quality Division from the Fairbanks North Star Borough marked the air quality for both Fairbanks and North Pole areas as unhealthy. That rating came through after smoke from forest fires around the area started rolling in from the west. Also, the National Weather Service issued a dense smoke advisory today in response to the fires. The Air Quality Division says that the smoke and local air quality will be highly variable, with dense smoke being a possibility. The unhealthy rating from the division means that people with respiratory problems, the elderly, and children should avoid prolonged exertion. The division says otherwise everyone else should limit physical exertion due to the smoke as well. Intense heat and dry conditions across the interior led to the announcement today of a ban on the use of personal fireworks in all fire districts across the borough. The State Fire Marshal and Fairbanks North Star Borough Mayor Luke Hopkins, along with local fire chiefs, announced the ban this morning. It goes into effect at noon on Friday. That ban is in addition to the closure of local personal wood cutting areas today. The wood cutting closures are due to the danger of hot chainsaws and four-wheelers that could spark wildland fires. Fireworks use will be banned until further notice in borough fire districts. Bans are already in place in the cities of Fairbanks and North Pole, as well as on state land. Hopkins and State Fire Marshal Kelly Nicolello say that with conditions at their worst in decades, officials are doing everything they can to cut down on fire risk. Nicolello says that Alaska State Troopers will be enforcing the ban, and there could be serious consequences for anyone found in violation.
There's various criminal charges that can be brought forward, and most of that is going to be based on not the fact that they're using them wrong or anything else like that, but from a trooper standpoint, it could go anywhere from criminally negligent burning to arson, just depending on how they're being used. For someone who simply has it in their possession, they'd be cited with I believe it's a Class B misdemeanor.
Now, if you think this summer's heat wave is hot, just be glad you weren't around in 1915. The highest temperature ever recorded in Alaska came on June 27th that year in Fort Yukon when it topped out at 100 degrees. The National Weather Service has records dating back to 1904. The highest temperature in Fairbanks was 96 degrees on June 15th, 1969. There is a recording of 99 degrees in Fairbanks on July 28th, 1919, but weather officials doubt the accuracy of that reading since there were no other temperatures from nearby cities that were that high. In this year's heat wave, the highest temperature recorded has been 96 degrees in Talkeetna on June 17th. Energy specialist Art Nash has some tips for people to keep cool under the sun.
Possibly taking bandanas and putting them into a Ziploc with ice and water, draping them around your neck. Some people will even take fleece, cut it up into squares, get it soaking wet, stick it in the freezer, and then kind of take it out when it's freeze-dried more or less, crinkle it to the shape of their head and wear it on top of their head. It's been found that feather pillows are much more adept at keeping your head cool than, say, synthetic or foam pillows. Set up a large tray of ice and run a fan across the top of the ice, kind of like the old swamp cooler type of aspect. And of course, if you have a basement, it can often be 15 degrees cooler in the basement than upstairs.
The Salcha Country Fair starts this Friday and continues throughout the weekend. The theme this year is A Berry Fair Time. It's the Salcha Fair Association's 32nd annual fair, and it's open from noon to 8 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and noon to 6 p.m. on Sunday. The festivities will have various food and souvenir vendors. There will also be a petting zoo, a rock wall, a cakewalk, a talent contest, and a raffle. Admission for adults is $6, and kids can get in for $1 less.
If you've ever driven to Valdez from Fairbanks or even just to Delta, you've seen the big grassy area on the side with some structures. That is the fairgrounds. There's a big soccer field. There's also a playground.
Coming up after the break, Alaska State Troopers say the man who drowned Sunday at a Fairbanks gravel pit lake was a 42-year-old local resident. And if you have had enough of mosquitoes here in the interior, come out to Dragonfly Day at Creamer's Field to learn about Mother Nature's mosquito control. Stay tuned to News 13.
Oh, this one I might do.
Thanks for staying with us. More News 13 is coming your way right now.
Welcome back. Alaska State Troopers are investigating an assault with a fillet knife in Nenana. 39-year-old Ralph Trinidad is charged with stabbing a man in the chest and face. Troopers say a woman reported picking up Trinidad and the other man in Anchorage and then driving them north to Nenana to find work. She says Trinidad at some point began accusing the other two of conspiring against him. She says after reaching Nenana on Monday night, Trinidad refused to leave her van, and when the other man approached him, Trinidad stabbed him. The injured man told troopers he punched Trinidad until he dropped the knife. Troopers recovered a fillet knife outside the van. And Alaska State Troopers say the man who drowned Sunday at a Fairbanks gravel pit lake was a 42-year-old local resident. Troopers identified the man as Handy McCaney of Fairbanks. Witnesses say McCaney waded in shallow water at about 3 p.m. Sunday and then apparently stepped over a steep drop-off. Witnesses say they saw him struggle briefly and disappear into the deep water. Fort Wainwright divers and the Fairbanks Fire Department found McCaney's body shortly after 4 p.m. The Friends of Creamer's Field is having Dragonfly Day this Saturday. The event at the Creamer's Field Farmhouse Visitor Center is recommended as fun for all ages and free. Kids and adults can walk around Creamer's Field, catch dragonflies, and learn about the mosquito-eating insect. There will be lots of activities, crafts, and guided nature walks for families to enjoy. It's all happening this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4. Director Christine Huff says dragonfly expert John Hudson will be there at the event to give professional answers about the insect.
It's great for all ages. I mean, you know, the kids will have fun with the crafts and the catching the dragonflies, but adults, because we've got such an amazing expert coming, you know, it'll be great for adults too. He wrote the book on Alaskan dragonflies called Dragonflies of Alaska, and he has been up to previous dragonfly days that we've also had here.
And the Alaska Gold Panthers look to keep their winning streak running against the Anchorage Bucks. Sports is next with Tom Hewitt.
Keeping an eye on the interior. News 13 Sports starts right now.
Welcome back. I'm Tom Hewitt, filling in tonight for Jamie Schwartzwald on sports. We open our sportscast tonight with a look at last night's doubleheader at Groudon Park as the Alaska Gold Panthers were looking to keep their streak rolling against the league-leading Anchorage Bucks. News 13 sports intern Michael Ives was there for both games. He has the story.
The 2013 Alaska Gold Panthers have become the comeback kings. After a quick 4-0 Gold Panthers win to start the day,
Do you see yourself on News 13? To order a copy of a News 13 Eye on the Interior story on DVD, please call 374-1520. Stories are just $25 each.
And thanks for joining us this warm evening for a look at today's news. If you have a story idea or a news tip, give us a call at 474-TIPS. Also be sure to tune in at 7:25 and 8:25 for morning updates with Hunter Judkins. Next is The Late Show with David Letterman. Tonight's guests are Johnny Depp and Mark Maron. And for Tom Hewitt, Alexis Lopez, and the rest of us at News 13, I'm Amy Chassé. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night.
When the biggest stars need the biggest laughs, they come today.